morning. Thank you for coming. Before we start the program, Sharon Shields, would you stand up for us, please? Sharon, where are you? Sharon is our colleague. Sharon truly was amazing. Thank you so much. This is a very, very special day. Today, 125 fifth graders are going off to middle school. This is an exciting day for you students and for you parents. Parents, I need to talk to you for a moment. Time goes by so quickly, and we sometimes forget that we raise children to let them go. This is one of the days we're going to let them go. All of the Severin children, thank you, Jesus, are married, self-sufficient, and they're busy raising their own kids. And now I get to raise my grandchildren. This is going to happen to you sooner than you think. I remember many of you moms, way back 6 years ago, even more than that, you were in the office pregnant with these kids. I remember. I always talk about joy in the different ways we perceive joy. However, you've heard that speech before, so I'm going to tell you another. I'm going to tell you a story about a little old school in Moseley, Virginia that started in 1922 in a small wood-framed building. It was used by the Grange, a farmers' organization. This little old school housed grades 1 through 10 until 1932, when grades 11 and 12 were included. In 1972, at a cost of $4 million, get that $4 million? Clover Hill High School, the old Clover Hill High School, was built, and this little old school sent its 7th and 8th graders there. 6th graders stayed at this little old school for several more years. In 1968, kindergarten students enrolled in this little old school. Way out in the far western part of Chesterfield County, this little old school flourished. No one except the people who lived way out in the country knew about this little old school. And they weren't talking. They wanted to keep this little old school a secret. This little old school has its own character and feeling. It has a wooden gym floor that great-grandparents and grandparents played on basketball on. It has its own wellness and water treatment plant. This little old school even has 2 basements that most of you don't know about. Now, let's fast forward to 2012 and see what has happened to this little old school. In 2007, Governor Kane honored this little old school for surpassing the guidelines in all SOL areas. In 2008, this little old school did it again and won the Governor's Award for Academic Excellence a 2nd year in a row. This little old school has been recognized as a school of excellence for 6 years. A Virginia Lottery Super Teacher Award, REB finalists, an REB winner, a Milken teacher, MCD award-winning teacher, National Board Certified teachers, and the Presidential Academic Excellence in Math and Science Teaching Award-winning teacher all work in this little old school. In 2009, this little old school was named a Blue Ribbon School by Secretary of Education Arne Duncan. This school was one of only one of 343 schools in the United States to receive this distinction. Also, in February of 2010, this little old school received the distinction of being named Model School, one of only 5 elementary schools in the nation to achieve this honor. Some staff actually went to Orlando, Florida to teach other people how to be like this little old school. Now, the 5th graders are going off to middle school, and you'll make new friends from all over the county, and you'll have many new experiences and many new teachers. There isn't a little old school in your future anymore. Tomahawk and Bailey Bridge, Cosby and Clover Hill are not little old schools. Your new friends are going to ask you, hey, where did you go to school? And you'll tell them you went to Grange Hall. They'll say, you went to that little old school? And you'll answer proudly. Give me a minute. that little old school. In fact, 80 of you have been in that little old school since kindergarten. 80 of you. Your middle school teachers are going to know you went to that little old school because of your manners, your attitudes, and your successes. I hope you will remember all that you learned at this little old school and come visit us often. There is a piece of you in this little old school and in the hearts of these little old teachers.
And I am delighted to bring attention to quite a lot of our fifth graders that had their artwork displayed at this year's Diamond Festival. And but guys, when I call your name, I'd like for you to stand. You're not going to clap immediately. We'll clap at the end. Okay? For Ms. Bowles' class, I would like to recognize you all right in. Hello. I'm the art teacher. And we have students that have art in a big show. So we're going to recognize them. In Ms. Bowles' class, Frankie Badriki, Megan Harold, please stand when I call your name. Jacob Snow. In Ms. Cox's class, Jesse Josephson, Sean Smalls, Mackenzie Barker, Alex Henry, Zachary Sell, Josh Collier, Rachel Arnold, Jocelyn Palacios, Tori Stanley, Devin Miles, Cantler Langston. In Miss Hugate's class, Brandon Thomas, Christian Satterfield, William Pritchard, Lakely Powell, Molly Brew, Seth Duncan. In Mrs. McCracken's class, Catherine McGill, Devin Diffie, Claire Ernesto, Enzo Padula, DeMonte Mosley, Blakely Powell, and Miss Tweedy's class, Juliet Ordorno and Jake Davidson.